So today we're going to take a look at SSRS, SQL Server Reporting Services, and SharePoint 2013. Here we've got a normal team site, a couple of things loaded in it from the Hello World Picnic project that Microsoft publishes. But one of the things I like to do after installing SSRS is to test it and make sure that we have not just the service application and some of those basics. So today we're going to take a look at SSRS, SQL Server Reporting Services, and a little bit of sample content on SharePoint 2013. So here we've got a dev machine. If we go to Manage Services on Server, we can see that we have SSRS started and running as far as a service instance. From the service application point of view, come over here to Manage Service Apps. We'll see that we have an SSRS instance created. Good news. Behind that, there's 3 databases over on the SQL side of things. If we check out our database listing. Yep, here we go. We can see we've got the temp, alerting, and the main SSRS database. So if we come back over system settings, this is where we can set a lot of different parameters, memory usage, and all that. So it's definitely installed. But does it work? And can it do all the functions we need? If we go to just a normal team site, which I created at the root, SP15 here for our URL, one of the things I like to do for testing is to create a list of states, just some postal abbreviations with numbers. Pretty easy to do. Can even use the SharePoint 2013 list ribbon up here and the quick edit feature to go ahead and type all those numbers in. And once we have that list of data, a SharePoint list to start with, I like to take the Shared Documents library, go into Library Settings, Advanced Content Types, allow content types on the Advanced menu, and then go ahead and add these 3 items right here, the Report, Builder Model, Report, and Data Source. By adding those 3 on our content types, when we come into our document library, File menu, we can pull down New, and we can click Report Builder Report. That's really how you get your foot in the door with SSRS. Add the content type, hit New Report. That's going to launch the Web Deploy Click 1 application, which is the Report Builder 3.0, and it's starting up right here. And once you're inside of Report Builder 3.0, that's where you can start browsing to data, laying out the canvas, adding different GUI elements, and all that good stuff. So here we are coming into Report Builder 3.0. Okay, and with Report Builder up and running, we have a wizard here where we can get started with charts, maps, a lot of different things as far as our purpose and what type of report we'd like to do. My data was geographic with the postal abbreviations. I'm going to pick out the shapefile here for the United States. Go ahead and hit Next. Leave all these at the defaults as far as zooming. We'll do a bubble map, put a few circles down on the canvas. And here's where we can choose a data set. I like to create a new data source. And we'll go ahead and use the current user. Our source is going to be a SharePoint list. And we need to put in the URL to the site. Now that's not the URL to the list. It's just to the site. Very simple, just to the root of the web. If we come next on the wizard, what it's going to do is show us all of the SharePoint lists that are in that particular site. But we don't really need every list, and we don't really need every field either. I just need those 2 particular columns from the states list, the title and a column I created called number. So now I've got a very simple little return set. Go ahead and hit Next. And now we need to map it to what the map shape understands. We need to connect those postal abbreviations. So STUSPS is what the map understands as a postal abbreviation, and this is my data source here. So we're just going to connect those 2 fields with a little checkbox. Let's go ahead and hit Next. Kind of have a lot of the defaults. Our data field is going to be the sum of the number field, and let's go ahead and display some labels on there, and we'll use the same thing. We could use like the name of the state, but I think it makes sense to put the number on the map. So go ahead and finish the wizard. And let's give it a little bit of a better title. Okay, and here we can click Run to go ahead and preview our report. Alright, so here we have the report rendering, and we can actually see our different bubbles coming through with numeric values. If I update that list to put in more numbers, more state abbreviations, we'll see more shapes in here. If anything is modified, have a different number, that'll come through. And the number values are kind of color-coded as far as matching highs and lows. So the live data is coming through, looks pretty solid. Let's go ahead and save this back to our SharePoint site. We'll call it states.rdl. I actually have one out there from earlier testing. Alright, and let's close Report Builder, because here's the real test. We want to try to get to that report with a web browser. So let's go to states.rdl, modified a few seconds ago, and let's view that in our browser. Okay, so here's the report loaded up in the browser just fine with the timestamp. We do have our Actions button where we can subscribe, maybe download as different types of format, PDF, things like this. Or open it in Report Builder to make some changes. But we definitely have the report rendering in the browser, and that's key because that shows that through and through the whole pipeline's working. We have our breadcrumb here to navigate up a level and come back to the library. So that's what I like to do for testing SSRS. Again, just a SharePoint list with some postal abbreviations and numbers, and then pair that up with a simple RDL map. And it just kind of shows that we've got the rendering engine, we got the SharePoint list data connection, and beyond central admin, it's actually rendering output and tested successful. Thanks for watching.